Hi, Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to the Magellan Network Show. For nearly 30 years, I've been focused on helping advisors become the best both personally and professionally. This show is dedicated to sharing with you tools, tips, strategies, distinctions, things that are working now. I'd love for you to take a moment, and if you're watching this on YouTube, click the like button and also the subscribe button so you get automatic updates. And if you happen to be listening to us on a podcast, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast and you leave a positive review for us. Now, with that said, let's get to today's episode. Hi, this is Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Hey, season's greetings. Welcome to December. And with that said, welcome to what I always like to call strategic planning season. So what we're going to do over the next several episodes is really talk about what are the elements of a strategic plan. And when I say strategic plan, that's strategic business plan. You can kind of flip-flop the two inside of a conversation. I'm going to share with you some best practices over the next several weeks, some do's and don'ts, some hacks, some ideas, some concepts. But what I want to do in this episode is really just talk about why this is important, okay? Why you as an advisor, and again, whether you're at a wirehouse, whether you're operating in more an independent environment, maybe with yourself or a small team, or you're one of these multi-billion-dollar RIA leaders, right? The reason or the rationale to have a plan in writing is all the same. In no particular order. You need to have it for vision, right? So if you're going to sit there and figure out your next 5 years, 3 years, 10 years, 2022, you need to have it in writing. And in writing does not mean you pull up an Excel file and you plug some numbers into a cell and, okay, we've got it, we're good to go. It's not about that. It's really about really thinking through, visualizing what is it that I want to create. I think it's incredibly important. The next reason why you want to do it, quite frankly, is what I call congruency and integrity. And here's what I mean by that. So let's just say, for example, you're sitting down, and this is a total hypothetical, but I'm going to make my point with it. Let's just say you're sitting down with a prospect, and you're sitting down with a prospect, and you're really talking about, hey, we need to definitely do a financial plan. We need a roadmap. We need a game plan. We need to get organized, all those things. And then they go to you and say, hey, love to do that. I'm happy to pay the fee, so on and so forth. And the only thing I need to see is show me your written business plan. Show me where you're organized, what you're looking to accomplish, things like that. So in other words, if we're going to sit there and I'll use the word demand, and we're going to demand of our clients, demand of our prospects, that, hey, we got to put a written plan together. We've got to get everything organized. And yet you're operating from a shoot from the hip, right? You've got some concepts in your mind about what you want to create. Isn't that a little disingenuous? Isn't that a little incongruent? Okay? So from that perspective, it doesn't work. The other piece, if you are a leader, and we all are leaders, so again, whether you have a part-time assistant or you're some of my clients running a team of 20, right? You are the chief visionary officer, right? The chief visionary officer. So what is the vision for the company, right? What is the vision for you? So I'll ask you a couple questions. Tell me how you can answer them. And if you can't answer them like immediately or within 10 seconds, then you need to really do your planning process. Number one, what is the vision for you and your firm, personally and professionally, over the next 10 years? Give me the bullet points. Again, I'm asking a shout out. Obviously, we're doing this here, but could you, if I was with you in the room and I challenged you with it, could you do that? Second question: what are the specific goals, KPIs, and benchmarks you and your firm want to hit in the next 36 months? And who's on the team in what capacity? So, in other words, what does your org chart need to look like over the next 12 quarters? Last question. What are your top 2 personal goals for 2022? What are your top 2 business goals for 2022? And I don't want to hear the terms more and better. Well, we want to get better at this. We want to get more assets, more households, more. That is totally nebulous. It's meaningless. Now, if you can answer those three questions, like now, like, oh yeah, oh, I know exactly what I want, then I would say to you that you have a bit of a gap. A bit of a gap. So what you really want to do, again, is think about this. We have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to yourself, to your family, to your team, to your clients. Like leadership, all the way around, 360. To really have a well thought out, exciting, dynamic vision that's bigger, bolder, and brighter than what you've done in 2021. And look, let's make no mistake about it. Most of you, at least my client base, all my clients had, if not a record year, a near record year. 2021 has been great. Okay? Are we lucky? Have we had good conditions? Market conditions, that is, right? Again, the world is the world. Yeah, market's been pretty good, right? Things have been going up. We have little blips here and there, but for the most part, things are going well. Here's what you need to remember. Good markets hide all faults. So in other words, hey, are you really as good as your P&L says? Or do you know you need to get better? So in other words, if you've been riding the wave, and that's good, hey, we've all ridden it, right? There's nothing wrong with that. There's not a negative statement at all. Not. However, if you know that, hey, you think there might be a storm coming, 22, 23, 24, whatever, would it make sense to prepare for it? Would it make sense to get your arms around it? Now, what many of you have done in the past, and again, depending on where you are, again, if you're, if you're just starting out in the business or you've been at this game for 30, 40 years, it's all the same, which is this. I guarantee pretty much all of you in the past have put together some concept of a business plan, writing down goals, maybe in a past life, your sales manager, your branch manager, hey, what are you thinking for next year, right? And look, don't confuse numbers with a plan. Just don't. Okay? It's easy to sit down with a calculator, an Excel spreadsheet, and plug in 15% growth, X amount of households, top line rev, AUM. That does not take a lot of thought. You can do that, over lunch. Not a big deal. But if you can sit there and say, hey, here's what I want to create. Here's why I want to create it. Here's what that means to me and my family. Here's what this means to my kind of all the people in my, my sphere of influence. Well, now we're on to something. And I'll give you a little tidbit here. So I want you to pick a goal. I want you to think of a goal for a second, right? So if I said to you, hey, give me your current thinking on your 2022 top line gross revenue number. Top line, right? So pick a number, right? So you have in your mind, which is great. Let me ask you some questions about it. Number one, why is this goal a must for you? Why is it a must? Okay. So in other words, I hope to, I like to, I'll try doesn't cut it. Why is this goal an absolute must? What do you gain personally, professionally? What does your family gain? What does this do for you in terms of your identity, your confidence, your psychology? Why is that goal a must? Okay. Next question. Who do you need to become? Who do you need to associate with in order to pull it off? Because here's a dirty little secret. You just can't say to yourself, well, I'm going to go aspire, I'm going to get my business to be bigger, bolder, better, brighter, but I'm going to be the same person. Remember, you are the economic engine, you are the visionary, you're the leader, you're the coach, it's you. And again, I don't care if you're working out of your house in a lifestyle type practice, or you're running a $2 billion enterprise level RAA, and anything in between. It's still about who you need to become. So that is the question, and this is where we get into the heart of the matter. Who do you need to become to pull this off? Part two, who do you need to associate with? So our org chart, do I need to go bring in a rock star assistant? Do I need to bring in a rock star servicing advisor? Do I need to join a mastermind, a study group? Do I need to surround myself? Am I surrounding myself with the right people? So the who's, plural. Who do you need to become? Who do you need to be around to pull it off? So I got the goal, the why is the must, who do I need to become, my who's, who do I need to become, who do I need to associate with, who needs to be on the team. Next question, easy question. How do we do it? So if you think about it, top line in our game, right, there's only a couple ways. We have financial planning fees, we have AUM fees, we have insurances, right, things like that, right, commissions. Some of you don't have all that, which is fine. There's only two ways to get more of that. A, we need more households, i.e. more clients, and or B, we need to increase the revenue flow from our current households, right? We call that optimization. So that's outside assets, that's are we priced properly, are we charging financial planning fees, like all of the above, right? Like these are the conversations, this is the kind of game planning you need to do in order to continue to elevate your game. Like I said, 2021, hey, wind at our back. I have no crystal ball. We might have another 2022, maybe like 2021. Markets are good, everything's flying, stuff like that. I think to me, it really what it boils down to is I want to prepare, I want to always level up my game. What I've been talking about with my clients in the month of December here is 2022 starts now. Like we're going to elevate our standards, right? And so if you buy into the concept of elevating your standards, but why? What's the context behind it, right? That's why you need to put a plan together. Now, you can go ahead, and I'm totally cool with this. Hey, whatever floats your boat, right? Whatever's going to serve you is cool with me. So if you want to go ahead, hey, I'm going to write some goals down on a piece of paper or get the one-page business plan, or whatever you do there, hey, that's totally fine with me. If that's going to serve you, I'm all about this. But and we're not going to do this today in this episode. I'm going to save this for another. But for those of you who are who are doing the YouTube video, here's what our planning process looks like. There's basically 12 steps, 12 modules, right? From that perspective, another 12-step program. Now, why do I have 12 steps, not 1, not 2, not 4? Because I've been working on planning with my clients for over 20 years now. I probably have sat with 5,000 advisors in that 20 years, walking them through our process and our protocol. And this is brand new. So what we did, and just so everybody's aware of this, this process, the new process, one I just deployed for 2022, we already tested this in Fort Lauderdale in November, where I brought 50, 60 of my clients together live, and then we had another 100 on a live feed, on like a Zoom feed, and we walked it through. So the feedback's been phenomenal. If you go to fabizplan.com, fabizplan.com, you'll find on that landing page there's about a 10-minute video. It'll walk you through all the elements of what we do. And if it makes sense to you, if it makes sense, hey, look, I definitely want to acquire this, then we make you a tremendous offer to do so. And you're going to love it. I'm just saying, whether you want to use my process or you want to do your own jam, whatever you want to do, I totally understand. But please, just don't go into 2022 abdicating the responsibility to yourself, your family, your clients, your team, not to have this done and put in writing. Okay? So that's our conversation for today. Now, in next episode, I'm going to take this. I'm going to take what we do. I'm going to take I'm going to start breaking down and give you some more information about the 12 steps. And again, you can kind of play with this on your own if you want, but I'm going to give you some ideas what some of the best practices are when you actually sit down and do your strategic plan, and some of the pitfalls of doing it. So we're going to kind of really get into the next several weeks. This is almost going to be like a little masterclass like. We're going to talk about best practices over the next 3-4 weeks, probably into the new year, quite frankly, with the holidays and stuff like that. Okay? So if you have any questions, like I said, fabizplan.com. Thank you for watching, listening to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. And any questions, please reach out. Share this video with your colleagues, with your friends in the game. Again, I'd love to just share my soon-to-be 28 years of doing what I do. Okay? God bless. Thank you for watching, listening. See you on our next episode. Thank you for watching or listening to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Hey, if any of this resonated with you, I invite you to come to MagellanNetwork.net, and we have a powerful group coaching community of like-minded advisors. Come in for a trial. You and I will have a one-on-one conversation Let's see if I can help elevate your game both personally and professionally.